Somewhere in Columbus, Ohio, there lived a young boy. Josh was always a normal child, always doing normal things. At least, that's what it looked like from the outside. Inside, Josh always felt alone. His father was a cocaine addict, and his mother was not too bright. Keeping to himself in his room, playing with his many toys they bought to occupy him, it always felt so empty. That was when Josh wished for a friend. When Josh was 6, he spent most of his time in the bathroom, playing with the water, or in his bedroom, playing with his toys. One day, a large mirror on the inside of the bathroom door caught his attention. It was himself. He knew that. He always knew that, but there was something about him that was different. His appearance didn't move and smile like he did. The mirror was a long mirror, about half the size of the door, and could easily show his full stature. It was the middle of the afternoon. His mother was sleeping. His father was at work, when the young boy he was looking at spoke to him. "Want to play?" Josh didn't know what to make of it. He didn't feel scared, but it all felt so real to him. The reality overtook him as the boy seemed to move from the mirror in front of him. Josh just smiled like usual and nodded his head. The boy led himself to Josh's room, where the ground was cluttered with his toys. This allowed the two to laugh and play together with ease. Over the next few months, Josh's parents always noticed the loud noises coming from Josh in his room, always talking to himself, toys moving around as he played. His parents asked who he was talking to or was playing with, several times assuming he had an imaginary friend, but Josh always answered with absolute certainty. His name's Jacob. Over the next 2 years, Josh had been focusing more on cartoons and real-life friends than playing with Jacob. Sometimes, when Josh wasn't home, his mother could hear toys dropping upstairs. Jacob didn't appear too often, but there was always a sign that he was there, and Josh was beginning to fear his room. Josh was afraid of even being near upstairs if he was alone. When Josh turned 9, a lot of things started going wrong. He was beginning to feel others' emotions easily. However, it wasn't like empathy. It was more like feeling sympathy and sorrow. Josh was already showing signs of anxiety because of his fears, and now this new turn was worrying everyone around him. No one believed that he had a friend in his own room. Although his father didn't believe him, his father could sense the adamant fear within Josh's eyes whenever he was forced to go to his room alone. Josh had forced himself to sleep in the living room that year. In the fall, Josh entered 4th grade and was beginning to forget about his young friend. That was when the nightmares began. They were nothing serious at first. Things disappearing, his pets dying, his friends leaving. Things that one day did happen, and not too far-fetched either. But not in the way they were shown. His dreams were over-exaggerated, a lot more gory and frightening for a child his age to think up, but he kept their existence to himself. Weeks passed, and the dreams got more intense as his birthday passed. The next year coming around, and everything went by normally. In March, the dreams began again, except this time, it showed his father. It showed someone breaking in and killing him, repeatedly mutilating his body until there was nothing left. The next day, his mother and father got into a large fight, but nothing too different. There was just so much negative energy in the air. It was as if anger and rage itself were filling the house. Still, Josh was scared of his dream and begged his mother to stay home, though she ignored his pleas. Earlier that day, Josh's uncle had dropped off a computer for his father to fix up. It was so that Josh could have it for school and socializing. Josh's father had stayed up late to finish it after Josh had fallen asleep on the living room floor. A small mattress from a pull-out couch was laid across the floor so he could rest peacefully. The next morning, Josh woke up. His morning cartoons were over, and he was almost late for school. The first thing he did was try to wake his father up, screaming at him for making him miss his cartoons. Josh's father didn't wake up. No matter how many times his small hands pushed his father's body, rocking it back and forth, he didn't move, screaming, "Daddy, Daddy," over and over, before noticing a pale gray bubble forming around his lips. Out of instinct, Josh ran into the kitchen and grabbed a knife, protruding the bubble and breaking it open. The foam moved, but his father still wasn't breathing. His mother worked night shift and would be home within the hour, and his mind couldn't even think about the police. His mom was the only thing running through his mind as he ran up the steps, his fear disappearing as he rummaged through his room for the phone book to call the number his mother had left him. Returning downstairs, Josh called the number, but she was already on her way home. Still in his pajamas, Josh walked outside and sat on the front step. He wasn't crying anymore. He just couldn't. He couldn't tell how long it took his mother to come home, but the moment she drove into the driveway, she could tell something was wrong. Asking Josh what was wrong, he replied in a single monotone voice, over and over again, "Dad's dead. Dad's dead. Dad's dead." Running inside, she found his father's corpse on the floor. Josh walked in slowly, keeping still, watching as she fumbled for the phone to call the police, crying for him to come back, crying for him to be okay. Josh just stood there, his eyes watching the scene. It wasn't long before the police and the medics arrived. They said his father had not, in fact, died in his sleep, but had fallen. He'd had a heart attack and a stroke at the same time, as if something scared him. While the medics were there, Josh sat at the top of the steps, looking down. He swore he could hear Jacob's laughter, however, drowned out by the people. As the medic left, one thing bore into Josh's mind, as the medic spoke loud enough so that he could hear. If your son knew CPR, he could have saved his life. Desperation took hold of Josh from that point on. Things leaving and dying around him, disappearing. None of it could even be explained, and anyone that dated him stated that something told them to leave. Josh was forever cursed, haunted by that little boy from the mirror. The little boy now trapped within himself, forever watching his very step. If you're ever lonely, never try to play with yourself. Good evening, everyone. It's me, Dr. Plague. Thank you so much for joining us for tonight's show. If you think you might like a little more spooky in your life, then please feel free to click on one of the videos we have up here. Maybe look at one of the playlists if you're trying to get caught up. I know, there's so many videos on the channel. There's so many series that are going at the same time. Sometimes you just need a little refresher course, and I gotta say, I always enjoy the views. If you're not subscribed, feel free to hit that subscribe button. Maybe hit the bell so you don't miss anything. We upload a lot on this channel, so You won't want to miss a single story as they come out. If you'd like to support the channel, you can click on the Amazon link down there. There's quite a few books in my Amazon account. You can have a look, and if you'd like a signed copy, get up with me through email, and I'll be happy to work something out with you. Also, there's links to my Patreon, and you can become a member on the channel if you'd like your spooky a little bit early. Patrons and members on the $5 tier get their videos 12 hours early. That's in the morning as opposed to in the evening. Patrons at the $10 level also get a signed copy of my book anytime I write one. Speaking of my patrons, you should see them appearing right now. Just wanted to take a minute to say how much I appreciate all of you. Patrons, subscribers, however you give to the channel. I really appreciate everything you do, and it truly touches me that you have chosen to support the channel in this way. Well, that's enough for now. Till next time, Dr. Plague, signing off. Have a wonderful evening.